Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to AICMC Morning Devotion. In the recent years, we always hear about stories of scams, cheatings, and empty promises. Now, a lot of reminders will also be sent by the authorities for us to be extra careful of scammers and cheaters who are coming to us like a wolf in sheepskin. Honesty and integrity is now very rare and hard to find. But there are also many situations which unconsciously where integrity is at stake. For example, your boss gives you an expensive front row ticket to a concert. You forgot to mark the date on your calendar and you missed the performance. The next day your boss asks, "Hi, how was the concert last night?" Oops, will you admit you missed it? Or you will simply tell a lie to your boss, says, "Yeah, the concert was okay, was good, yeah, I enjoyed it." How would your response be? Or another example, if a troublesome employee in your department or in your office applies for a position in another department and you felt so relieved, when the manager of the other department asks you about this person, will you give a glowing reference? "Oh, this guy is fantastic," so that he could be easily transferred over? Brothers and sisters, we are always confronted with situations and difficult decisions which test our integrity. The choices we make in reality have consequences which affect our daily lives, our character, our careers, our self-image, and our relationship with God. We are tested on a daily basis with situations much like the example just now. Do you lie about being able to meet a delivery deadline in order to win a business contract? Or do you steer a customer to purchase a product that is not really best for their needs, but that purchase will help you to achieve your quota and receive a large commission? Is it okay simply because everybody else is doing it? Actually, this is called integrity. What is integrity? Integrity is derived from the root word integer. In mathematics, an integer is a whole number, for example 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, as opposed to a fraction. So the idea of integrity concerns wholeness, completeness, or entirety. It is also related to another word, integrated. Therefore, integrity is when all aspects of our lives are integrated and working together as a whole. A person who says one thing but does another is fragmented. That is called hypocrisy. A person who does one thing today but does a contrary thing tomorrow is fragmented, and that's called duplicity. But a person who speaks and acts with integrity has consistency and has all aspects of life working together as a whole. As Christ followers, we should naturally be people of high integrity. But many struggles with living out what they believe. Instead of being an example of faithfulness and consistency, people often end up being examples of hypocrisy and duplicity. We have all heard of Christian leaders, brothers and sisters, who have preached holiness from the pulpit, only to come crashing down because of scandal. It is beyond disappointing when we hear this. To be sure, but integrity is something we often demand from others but don't necessarily demand from ourselves. We talk the talk, but we fail in the walk. On Sunday, we may say it's better to serve than to be served. Yet on Monday, we are self-promoting and demanding managers over our employees. On Sunday, we affirm righteousness living. But on Monday, we cut corners, we touch up expenses account, we break traffic rules. And this morning, brothers and sisters, I would like to share with you a lesson that I learned from Daniel on integrity. I want to read to you the book of Daniel chapter 1, verse 1, verse 3 to 5, and verse 8. It says here, "In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. Then the king instructed Ashpenaz, the masters of his eunuchs, to bring some of the children of Israel and some of the king's descendants, and some of the nobles, young men in whom there was no blemish but good-looking, gifted in all wisdom, possessing knowledge, and quick to understand, who has ability to serve in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the language and the literature of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed for them a daily provision of the king's delicacies and of the wine which she drank, and 3 years of training for them, so that at the end of that time they might serve before the king. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portions of the king's delicacies, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the chief of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Daniel was one of the young men taken back to Babylon to be trained as a civil servant to serve the king. He was from a family of high social status, strikingly handsome and intelligent. In Judah, his life would have been quite predictable. He would have gone to a great school and then on to a glittering success in whatever field he chose, and he would have a great marriage, live in an enviable home, raise a wonderful family, occupy a prominent place in the temple, and do great things for God. But Daniel's life took an unexpected turn. In a minute, Daniel lost his culture, his family, and his friends. He would have to speak a foreign language and live and die in a foreign land as a slave to a tyrant. Brothers and sisters, have you ever found yourself in Babylon before, like Daniel? Babylon is the place you end up with when life does not turn out the way you have planned, or even when critical situation came up where a simpler lie can close the issue. We all find ourselves in Babylon at times, cut off from the life we planned for, or prepared for, or we expected. It is at this time that we face the most difficult test of our integrity. Will we toss our character aside, take matters into our own hands and respond in an un-Christ-like manner? Or we still remain faithful and trust for God's provision and protection? Daniel did not throw in the towel on integrity. He didn't get entangled in duplicity or hypocrisy. He chose consistency, and he chose to live out loud what he believed in. Daniel, the prisoner, the foreigner, the teenager, determined that he was going to live with integrity and do what was right in the eyes of God. He refrained from eating the king's food because the meat was from animals that had been sacrificed to false gods. He put his trust in God's plan for his life. God was faithful, and Daniel was saved from the situation and was greatly blessed by God. Not only in Babylon do we keep our integrity, but also in our daily life. When we are not in Babylon, we still must keep our integrity. I want to turn to the book of Daniel again, chapter 6, verse 4. It says, "At this the administrators and the satrap tried to find grounds for charges against Daniel and his conduct of government affairs, but they were unable to do so. They could find no corruption in him because he was trustworthy and neither corrupt nor diligent." You see, Daniel, even in his daily life, working in his work, as an important person in service to the king, he is always trustworthy. He is not corrupted, nor was he negligent. He works faithfully, and this is the example, and this is the integrity we as Christians should learn to have. So brothers and sisters, this morning, I just want to share 3 things for you to take away. Number 1, brothers and sisters, we walk the talk. What we say, we walk, we do it. We can be trusted. We are trustworthy. And last one, we deliver what we promise. Don't simply promise without delivering. That is losing our integrity. We deliver what we promise. Brothers and sisters, I hope this morning's sharing can inspire you and help us all together to live a life with integrity and to shine for God, to shine for Jesus. Amen. Thank you, and I wish you have a nice day. Bye-bye.